I always love letting fans decide what videos I do next, what I review, what I give away, or in this case, what countdown I revisit. And in a poll, many people told me they wanted to see some of the most unique airsoft loadouts in the game of airsoft. And I'm up for that. Airsoft is an immensely creative and diverse game, so of course some of its players have creative and elaborate kits. And I'm showing off just 5 of them in this new episode of the Airsoft Tops Series, which is sponsored by Airsoft GI, of course. They've been sponsoring and supporting everything I do here for years now, and I always appreciate them, especially when we're given our own coupon code that works on nearly everything on the website, so use that code every time you shop with them. They have a couple mystery boxes going live right now, so it's a good time to take advantage of that code. I really appreciate it when you guys support the people who support us, just like how I appreciate G&G Armament, who always have our backs and who are always sending awesome stuff to review, show off, and ultimately give away to you guys. So expect to find links for Airsoft GI and G&G Armament in the description like they should be. But with that read and said, let's get into the top 5 unique airsoft loadouts. This countdown was really hard to judge this time, so as we move up the ranks, just know that there's not a huge gap between the 5th and the 4th spot or between the runner-up and the top spot holder. This was a really close matchup that you can share your opinions on in the comments down below, so if you see something you like, then let us know. But at the 5th spot, we have Taylor of Eastern Washington State for his Rebel Indoor Strike Team Commando loadout. If the Halo fans ran wild after showing off Mark Cherry's Spartan Laser, then the Star Wars fans are sure to love this kit that was built for a sci-fi event at Taylor's local field a few years ago. Consisting of a Return of the Jedi variant DH-17 blaster that was custom built from an S&T Sterling AEG, a vintage ANH-15 flight cap as a helmet base, which is accurate to the real prop, a vintage 50 Swiss Overwhite with camo paint, aka the same jacket used on screen, an Alice belt with an IFAK pouch, and 2 M1956 rifle pouches, again as used on screen, and with a collection of custom-made or off-the-shelf modified surplus equipment parts. The overall cost for this loadout was only around $900. That's all you really need to make this very accurate loadout. I loved how Taylor was dedicated to getting as much of his kit as accurate to the real article, down to even the branding, and that the version of the blaster he chose wasn't seen on screen, but was built for the film and toured with the Rache costume exhibit, which is very special. Not many people can gloat about stuff like that. And when it's not being used in a game, it's being shown off at conventions all around the country. Taylor is a true in and out Star Wars fan, and this kit is his way of showing it. Altogether, I say he did an excellent job of doing that, but you'll see a little bit more Star Wars love later on in this countdown. Next up at number 4, we get Wild, or in this case, Medieval. Titan Corp Paulus of the UK takes the Juggernaut game mode to a strange new level that I highly approve of. With only 3 years of airsoft under his belt, Paulus really wanted to put together a Crusader loadout, but he needed a real reason to start. That's when his local field announced a charity event, and that's all the reason he needed. He knew he wanted to play as a Juggernaut to help the game along, and this kit was one of the best ideas that Paulus could have for that role. If you don't understand why, then you're in a boat all on your own. Maybe it's the Browning 1919, or the freaking sword that he used to get a few cheeky eliminations, or because of the sub $300 build costs that this kit ate up. Besides the $1,500 hip-fired M1919, this should be seen as a solid option to really stand out in a local game. No one is doing this kind of stuff, and at the most you'll see someone rocking just the helmet, but the whole kit? No. We had to wait for this man to do it right, and I love it, especially in this photo. This photo right here can be used for a magazine cover, or be a graphic to advertise the next charity airsoft event. I already want a 1919, so this just makes me want to buy it now. Good thing I just got my stimulus. And with over 1,200 likes on this community post that I put up not too long ago, I'd say that a lot more people definitely like this loadout. I don't think I say it enough, but I gotta thank the Airsoft Heretics group on Facebook for being the source of so many awesome submissions. When I start taking in submissions for these shows, I open polls on the USAirsoft Facebook and Instagram page and in the UK Airsoft community group. And I even take in submissions by email. But this group always impresses me with all sorts of crazy stuff, so shout out to the Airsoft Heretics group. That's the place where this builder continues to submit amazing work. Carlos returns once again from the Philippines to take the 3rd spot. This time because of Fallout. I don't ever mean this as an insult, but this was a very cheap loadout. I'm talking sub $100 cheap, thanks to the reused junk and clothes scraps that made this scavenger kit what it is. Over the course of a week, Carlos tried his best to bring the Raider armor back to reality, leaning more on practicality rather than the in-game's over-the-top aesthetics. And he used a lot of found objects to build the cage armor in particular to make it more real. And how can you ignore his custom replicas? Those really add the final touches to this. He could have used a simple M16 or something more traditional looking like a wood-stocked M14. But if Carlos has a plan, he goes all the extra miles to make it special. There's not much else to this loadout in retrospect. It's very simple. But that doesn't make it easy to assemble or an effortless kit to use. But it does round out to a very special and standout look that could fit in at so many Airsoft events, while at the same time amassing dozens of questions from other players. I just really love the craftsmanship. And for the runner-up spot, the craftsmanship really shows. But sadly, this is the loadout that I know the least about due to a language barrier between me and the builder. But I'm happy to show it off regardless. This is the Tactical Samurai by the Shogun Shop located in Hong Kong. Nearly every show I do, Shoguns shows up. In a combination of ancient and modern, this Japanese military-inspired loadout is really pushing it. It's probably not the most practical thing out there or even the easiest to work with on the list, but its builder isn't new to doing everything by hand. From the armor to the katana-infused shotgun, I just love it. And of course, these are probably the very best photos on the show. If I ever end up in Hong Kong, then the Shogun Shop is going to be at the top of my list of places to visit and make videos out of. Maybe then I can learn more about this loadout, along with the vast collection of classic Airsoft replicas hung up in the showrooms. Just look at the Shogun's Facebook page once in a while. You'll see all sorts of custom guns, vintage Airsoft guns, just crazy stuff. But just in case if you're not happy with what you've seen yet, then how about this Rebel Marine kit from Rogue One that Anders put together? The entire loadout list is exactly what's seen on screen. From the Gurkha 3 top with the USGI grenade vest painted black and brown, the British PLCA belt, and a mix of Euro surplus pouches to the iconic Rebel Pathfinder flapped hat. It's just exciting to be able to bring Star Wars to life outside the screen, Anders said. Then Curtis submitted this sick modern Juggernaut loadout, and Dion turned in this really interesting Soviet kit with an equally interesting grenade launcher. And of course, the Explosive Enterprises team could have taken up several spots with their loadouts that always get people talking around the field and in the comments. I just wish I could have shown off every loadout that was submitted, but we would have been here for hours. That just means we'll have to do this same countdown again very, very soon. For our last unique loadout, I'm happy that I even get to rank such a thing. A huge portion of Airsofters got into the game because of the Call of Duty series, and it really shows sometimes. So much so that people base their entire collections and tactics from COD. So when this Swedish Airsofter, Twitch streamer, and cosplayer commented in the USAirsoft Facebook poll, I just had to have him for the show. This is Inzzen's Nikto loadout from Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Fun fact, Nikto is Russian for nobody or no one. In his own words, Inzzen is a Twitch streamer that loves to take games to the next level with his passion for Airsoft by playing as video game characters in real life. He's done a Simon Riley impression, Kruger, Kapkin from Rainbow Six Siege, and many more kits that are all over his Instagram page. But to be the most realistic Nikto as possible, grayshop.ru was heavily used. Even then, the Russian G-suit wasn't easy to get his hands on. It took some Russian friends to buy it up for him and send it over to complete such a challenge. After that, the iconic mask had to be handmade over the course of 2 weeks. This is a $1,000 plus piece of work that took a lot of screenshots and gameplay to get just right. But I think it paid off. I mean, even Marley13 and Milsim Junkie love it. And I honestly think there's not enough themed airsoft loadouts out there. I can go months and maybe even a year sometimes without seeing something as special as this. What am I talking about? If I saw this loadout personally, it would most definitely be the most unique loadout that I've personally ever seen. All the rare parts and the inspiration this loadout took helped it up the ranks. The spot-on look required some gym visits as well, which is another bonus that not a lot of people take into account. The photos that you see only act as frosting on the cake. Someone out there might not agree with this placement, but to every person I showed this kit to, even people who have never played a single Call of Duty, this was their top pick. So congratulations to Inzzen for taking the top spot for this episode of the Airsoft Tops Series. It's been a long time since the last episode, but I had a lot of fun putting this one together. I always love the idea of people using these episodes to put together their own loadouts, even if they're hunting down just a part or two for their next kit. It's all about standing out and being one of a kind. Airsoft is basically a beauty contest wherever you go after all. I just hope you enjoyed this edition, and I hope to see your comments about what you've seen here today down below, because the builders are sure to read what you have to say. I've got a lot more countdowns to write up and over $1,000 of airsoft stuff to give away, so if you're new here, then maybe subscribe now to enjoy more of the content I put out. Or use the links in the description to join the Airsoft Heretics group, to find me on Facebook or Instagram, or to the Airsoft GI website where you can find a few special mystery boxes. I couldn't do stuff like this without Airsoft GI or G&G Armament, so I do want to show them some appreciation. I'd also like to shout out every one of these super chat donators who donated during the last live stream. I have a lot of fun streaming on YouTube and Twitch, so I want to make sure everyone here feels a little extra appreciation. The USAirsoft channel members need some of that love too, like Truffle, Beaver Gaming 64, TH3 Unknown, Josh Punk, Overrev666, Tristan Art and Airsoft, and everyone else you see on your screen now. Being a member helps the channel more than anything else, so I really need to thank everyone here. Hopefully the giveaway I've planned for them will be enough to make them happy after supporting me for so long. And you can join them now to enjoy some exclusive perks like getting to watch videos early. Just be sure to click this button on the USAirsoft channel homepage. But until that next video drops from the city of San Antonio, this has been Scott Hollenbeck, and I will be sure to see you all next time.